What we're seeing time and time again is we're more focused on the question of billionaires and the most profitable corporations than we are on people who can't even afford to make ends meet in this city.
Well, we know affordability is an issue, and I think that all politicians are getting to an understanding of that, and I think that you've done a lot, actually, to bring people's attention to that issue.
Interesting. Now, Fox News hasn't found success in their attempts to paint Zohran Mamdani as anything other than a guy fighting for the common person, with Martha McCallum even having to compliment him there. Fox is taking another crack at it by putting his dangerous positions on a graphic. Let's bring that up. Zohran Mamdani's socialist promises: no cost childcare, baby baskets to newborns, $30 minimum wage. Now, these are such scary proposals that he's even highlighted them on his website. You could see that here. God, that is just absolutely terrifying. Now, those scary policies have led to things like this. New York City early voting ends with 735,000 ballots cast as younger voters surge. This year's mayoral race saw the highest early in-person turnout ever for a non-presidential election in New York. Now, not only is the record turnout positive, the additional good news is that early voters are skewing younger. The early in-person turnout this year was not quite so high as in last year's presidential election, which saw over 1 million people vote early, but the electorate was younger. When turnout was higher during the 2024 presidential election, the median age sank down to 51. The median age of early voters this year fell even further to 50. But Democrats are allergic to learning. And when Hakeem Jeffries was asked, is Mamdani the future of the Democratic Party? He said, no. JR, what is the future then? If it's not Mamdani and it's not policies like this?
Isn't it weird? Like these guys are old, archaic guys that want to keep pushing the whole let's bring us back. So again, as humans work, I'm not sure if people have pointed this out yet. It's weird. As humans work, some get older, then they die. And the younger ones get older and become adults and they also vote. And it becomes their government, it becomes their world, it becomes the thing that they control. So as they do that, if you keep saying that you have no mindset for the folks that are younger, that are now voting in these types of numbers, who are responding to someone who speaks and has the platform that Zohran Mamdani has, all you can do is bitch and complain about it, I guess. Or you can try and get along with the folks who will be voting for you. That's why all these things are now coming to a head. I fully believe that this administration is looking for 4 to 5 different ways to make sure that we don't vote in 2026, number one. So this is definitely part one. They're like, damn, Zohran might get an opportunity before we get a chance to fully act like we need to, shut down this whole voting situation. Just like they said they weren't gonna unleash military into our streets. All those promises that they kept breaking, that's the next one. But first, now they have to just try and act like the people who supported Mamdani are un-American. And then the folks like, God, the Chuck Schumers and Hakeem Jeffries of the world, they're talking. Mike Johnson, every chance he gets, complains about how they're getting bullied by these folks in the Democratic Party. And now they have to kowtow to the fascists, or not even call them fascists. They're called the communists in the Democratic Party that they have to kowtow to. What that is them being forced to finally listen to the constituents who are like, we're not voting for your asses anymore. That's how democracy works. The people run this place, but they're blatantly loud about, do you really want to survive? Do you really want healthcare? Do you really want after-school child care for your children? Please, that's a losing argument, bro. And that's why they're about to lose.
Yeah, when you see comments like this from Jeffries, I mean, even his reluctance to endorse Mamdani, Schumer has totally dodged it. It's just like, they're allergic to winning. I think that's what it is. They like being an oppositional party because they don't have to do anything proactively. They can just put their hands on their hips, stomp their foot, write open, strongly worded letters, and wag their finger. Shame on you, Mr. Trump. That's what they like. It's also a better fundraising environment for them. But this myth that the Democrats are just looking for their next Obama, I think is farcical, because in some ways you have him here. You have people excited across age demographics, across racial identity, religious lines. People are excited about him. He's talking about things that matter to voters. He's talking about things that'll address their material conditions, their kitchen table issues. And the top Democrats in Congress, both of them from New York, no, just I don't know. It's between him, a guy who's a lunatic, and a guy who's a lunatic / sexual abuser / he killed a bunch of people during COVID. Who can say? Who can say? It boils down to special interest money, loyalty to corporations, and to some extent, Zohran not unilaterally and blindly supporting Israel, which is a weird thing to expect of a mayor. JR, any final words before we go to break?
Yeah, it's especially on that point. When you keep saying that people they're afraid of Zohran Mamdani, that's literally dividing folks that are also afraid of our policies in the Middle East, in this genocide that we continue to carry out. What about the people that are afraid for that? What about those folks who see people that look like them, that are related to them, that are going through all that there? There's this weird thing that we think we're supposed to not care about certain folks. And then when too many people, regular folks, care about those people, then it turns into how dare you? Well, there's a fight for a little bit of like principle and morality. And I think the moral and principle side are gonna win that.